Hey everyone, Emoji Movie Channel here, and I am here today to review another movie. Today I'll be reviewing the Boss Baby Family Business. Oh. I don't like the original Boss Baby. It's terrible. Dumb jokes, annoying characters, bad plot, and a stupid premise that's not executed well at all. It is my least favorite Dreamworks film ever. So you can imagine my excitement for the Boss Baby 2, oh boy. When the trailer for this movie came out, I watched it and boomers! It was so bad and I didn't watch any more trailers for it after that. Dreamworks really needs to get out of their sequel spree. However, with that said, I actually liked this film. More than the first one, that is. It's definitely not great or on par with these classics, but it's decent, I guess. First of all, while this is a sequel to The Boss Baby, I actually thought they did something interesting with it. It's kind of cool to see grown-up versions of the characters, and they make many funny jokes about that. It's something none of the other DreamWorks sequels have really done, so it's an interesting concept, even if it is for the Boss Baby. I just wish these characters were interesting and I cared about their arcs, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, time skip is a really cool idea, so at least some thought was put into this movie. Also, the most positive thing I can say about this movie is that it's funny. Like, really funny. Like, I'm as surprised as you are. I did not expect to find this movie funny at all. But to my surprise, it actually has a style of comedy that really works for a movie called The Boss Baby Family Business. The first movie was sort of like, oh, here's a random thing, you should laugh at it. Ha ha. I guess this movie also does that, but they're a lot more subtle about it. This movie is crazy and insane, and the movie knows it. The concept of the Boss Baby itself is just really stupid, so it's fun to see them roll with that and just let the jokes unfold. And it's even funnier now because the main characters are adults. I think the craziest part of this movie would be this one epic chase scene. It was awesome and super fun to watch. It's like Varric wrote this movie. It's crazy and ridiculous and throws a million ideas at the screen per minute, yet the comedic timing is on point and it's just hilarious. Obviously, it's not the most highbrow comedy ever, and Varric the movie would be way better, but it's still really fun. This is an absurd movie, and I appreciate that it knows what it wants to be. However, this is still a movie, and those need to have plots and characters. Yeah, those aren't very good. I already mentioned how I don't like the first Boss Baby, and this movie didn't do much to make me care about these characters. All it did was make them funnier and less annoying, which is definitely a good thing, but there's not much outside of that. And if you strip away all that bizarreness from the story and the funny jokes, the story itself is pretty predictable. It basically follows the same structure as the first movie, and the first movie didn't have a very interesting structure. Even after they established the whole time skip thing, they just turned them right back into babies. Wow. You just gotta run with the craziness of this movie if you want to enjoy it. The pacing is alright, and it works with the comedy, but it's nothing incredible. I appreciate how this movie kept a consistently fast pace, which made it way more enjoyable than the first. Until the final act, that is. Yeah, the final act of this movie is bad. It's so boring. I assume this is where Varric decided he didn't want to write this movie anymore, and whoever filled his spot couldn't quite replicate his style of comedy. But they gotta keep the audience engaged with the movie somehow. So then this movie, which may I remind you is titled The Boss Baby Family Business, tries to get super emotional. And I mean super emotional. It goes on for really long, and they are trying to make it super sad. Yeah, cute try, guys, but this isn't making me feel anything. The first two acts of this movie had emotional moments, sure, but they were way shorter, and they even make jokes out of them. Now they're really trying hard to make you feel something. Not only does it feel out of place considering the craziness that was set up before, but it's just bad. They don't do anything special with these characters, and their arcs are just so generic. I guess I shouldn't have expected to get emotional over the Boss Baby Family Business, but they were really trying hard here. There's like no reason to care because all it's interested in doing is just wrapping up the characters' arcs. I get that's what a final act of a movie should do, but it's the Boss Baby Family Business. Anyway, back to bizarre things. The villain of this movie is pretty weird and not really in a funny way. I guess he was entertaining, but his plan is super confusing and I've already forgotten most of it. As for the animation, it looks pretty good. The rendering here is way better than in Spirit Untamed, and the character animation is enjoyable. However, I'm not really a fan of the Boss Baby character designs. They just look a little weird. I get that's the point, but it just doesn't look that great to me. Although this movie is very creative, and that makes it actually pretty fun to watch. Some of the locations are pretty colorful and actually really imaginative. You can tell they had a lot of fun designing a lot of different props for this movie. If only all this creativity could have gone to a better script. Yeah, I really do not know what to think of this movie. I enjoyed most of it, I guess, but at the end of the day, it's the bossy family business. Whether that's a good thing or not is all up to you. For me, the writing isn't that great and the characters are still uninteresting. However, it is actually a pretty funny movie, and it did improve a lot of aspects that I hated about the first. I appreciate that the people at Dreamworks gave it their all when making a sequel to The Boss Baby. Obviously, it's not as good as these, and I hope Dreamworks makes original movies soon, but this movie's not awful. I think the lesson here today is that if you want to make a good Boss Baby movie, don't try to be super emotional and just have Varric write the whole thing. I'm going to give The Boss Baby Family Business a 5.5 out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, comment down below, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.